The New York City Subway is one of the busiest, oldest, and longest rapid transit systems in the world. As such, it has many yards, or depots if you prefer, where the trains are stored and maintained. In this video, we'll take a look at all of them, plus the yards on the Staten Island Railway, PATH, Newark Light Rail, Hudson-Bergen Light Rail, and the two AirTrains, seeing what makes each yard unique and special. Before we begin, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Also consider checking out my Patreon, which is linked in the description below. If you like these depot/yard breakdowns, please let me know in the comments as I have more videos planned in this series. We'll start with the New York City Subway and go through all the yards in alphabetical order. It is important to note NYC Subway Nomenclature before continuing. The subway distinguishes between lines, the physical infrastructure, and services or trains throughout taken by train in regular service. Additionally, when I say cars are assigned to a yard, that means the yard in question is where those trains are typically inspected and maintained. The trains may be stored at other yards when they aren't being inspected or undergoing maintenance. The first yard is one of the two non-revenue yards on the system, and that is 36th to 38th Street Yard in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. It is located between 5th and 7th Avenues, just west of 9th Avenue on the BMT West End Line, D train. This yard is where the majority of non-revenue and work equipment, including the subway's many diesel locomotives, are stored and maintained. This is also where garbage collection trains are unloaded. The yard has 15 storage tracks and a balloon loop, as well as several maintenance and loading tracks. A balloon loop is a loop of track that allows trains to physically turn around instead of simply having the motor person change ends. Also of note near this yard is the South Brooklyn Railway, which is one of two connections the New York City Subway has to the National Rail Network. The SBK splits off from the West End Line just west of the yard and 9th Avenue Station before running to the intersection of 39th Street and 1st Avenue, where it connects with New York, New Jersey Rail. This short railroad is how the subway takes delivery of the majority of its trains and is how old trains are removed from the system for scrapping. The next yard is 137th Street Yard, which is really a set of 5 storage tracks located between 145th Street and 137th Street City College stations on the IRT Broadway 7th Avenue Line 1 train. The yard has 3 tracks to the west of the main line and 2 tracks to the east. This yard is used to store up to 10 trains during the off-peak periods. The tracks are numbered A to E, with the main line tracks being numbered 1, 4, and M. Moving on, we come to 174th Street Yard, which is located under Broadway at around 177th Street. The yard runs south under Broadway before joining the alignment of the IND 8th Avenue line, A train. The 4 tracks then run to 168th Street Station, which is the northern terminus of the C train, with A trains running through the station. Unusually for the subway, at 168th Street, the through express tracks are on the outside and the terminating local tracks are on the inside. This allows the terminating trains to easily run into 174th Street Yard. The yard is used to store and turn around C trains. The yard has 5 tracks, with 4 of the tracks being able to store 1 train each, with the 5th track only being able to store 4 cars. The tracks are numbered 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7, with tracks 3 and 4 being the through tracks. The next yard is the first of the yards that have revenue trains permanently assigned to it, 207th Street Yard. This is also one of 3 yards that are shared between the A Division, numbered services plus the 42nd Street Shuttle, and the B Division, lettered services, and the other 2 shuttles. 207th Street Yard is additionally one of 2 heavy maintenance and overhaul facilities on the subway. This yard is located in Inwood, Manhattan, between 207th and 215th Streets. The yard features 2 balloon loops, tracks 55/25/18 and 1/56, 33 storage tracks, numbered 24 to 52 and 54 to 58, and 17 maintenance tracks, numbered 2 to 13 and 18 to 23. There is also a car wash here. The cars assigned to this yard are 92 cars of the 4-car variant of the R179 used on the C. There is also a large collection of cars owned by the New York Transit Museum stored at this yard. The yard is connected to the IRT Broadway 7th Avenue Line 1 train, just north of 207th Street Station, and to the IND 8th Avenue Line A train, just south of Inwood's 207th Street Station. The A Division Yard lead is track C, and the B Division Yard leads are tracks 5 through 7. Next, we move to the Wakefield neighborhood of the Bronx, near the border with Westchester County, to 239th Street Yard, the northernmost yard in the system. The yard is connected to the IRT White Plains Road Line 2 train, just south of Wakefield 241st Street Station, and is located between Furman Avenue and Baychester Avenue. The yard has 8 maintenance tracks, numbered 59 to 66, 35 storage tracks, numbered 10 through 21 and 33 to 58, and a car wash. The balloon loop is numbered 1C, and the yard leads are numbered 1B, 1C, 4A, and 4B. The yard has 410 R142s assigned to it, which run on the 2 and 5 trains. The similarly named, but not close, 240th Street Yard is located in Riverdale, the Bronx, between West 240th Street and West 242nd Street. The yard sits adjacent to Van Cortlandt Park, 242nd Street on the IRT Broadway 7th Avenue line, 1 train, and stores 265 R62As and 10 R62s assigned to it. The yard features 6 maintenance tracks numbered 1 through 6 and 15 storage tracks numbered 7 through 21. The yard leads are tracks A and B. Interestingly, the entire yard is located on an elevated structure. Next is Canarsie Yard, located right next to Canarsie Rockaway Parkway on the VMT Canarsie line, L-Train, in Canarsie, Brooklyn. The yard serves as a secondary storage and layup yard for the L-Train, and also has the only car wash on the VMT Eastern Division, J, L, part of the M, and Z trains. The yard has 23 tracks to store trains. Church Avenue Yard is located just south of Church Avenue on the I&D Culver line, F and G trains, and is underground. This is another one of those yards that consists of only a few storage tracks, in this case 4. The yard is used to turn around G trains, as Church Avenue is the service's southern terminus. Concourse Yard is located in the Jerome Park neighborhood of the Bronx, directly adjacent to Bedford Park Boulevard, Lemon College on the IRT Jerome Avenue line, 4 train. The yard is bisected by Bedford Park Boulevard West. This is the second of the 3 yards that are shared between the A and B divisions, and is also one of 2 yards to have a portion of it listed on the National Register of Historic Places, in this case the entry buildings and substation, which are listed separately. The yard has 3 inspection and maintenance tracks numbered 1 through 3, and 36 storage tracks numbered 4 to 16, 17, 17A through C, 18 to 25, 26, 26A through D, 27, 27A, 28, and 29. 284 R68s assigned to the D train are assigned to this yard, with R68s, R68As, and R142As assigned to the B and 4 trains being washed and stored in the yard as well. The yard sits directly south of Jerome Yard, but we'll get there in a bit. To the south of the yard, Track 5 connects to the IRT Jerome Avenue line 4 train, and Tracks 5 through 7 connect to the IND Concourse line B and D trains. The yard is located below street level, also known as below grade, and there are gaps between some of the tracks to allow for development over the yard, similar to the adjacent Jerome Yard. The Coney Island Rapid Transit Car Overhaul Shop, or the Coney Island Complex, is one of the largest metro/light rail yards in North America, spanning 74 acres. Located just north of Coney Island Stillwell Avenue on the BMT Sea Beach, BMT West End, BMT Brighton, and IND Culver lines, N, D, Q, and F trains respectively, it is split up into 4 parts. The first section is the overhaul and maintenance facility, the other 2 are the heavy maintenance and overhaul facilities on the system. The shop part of the complex consists of 24 maintenance tracks, tracks 24A through 26A, 27 through 30, 32 to 46, and 49 to 52, and 5 storage tracks, tracks 47, 48, and 48A through C. This is also where heavy maintenance is done on the Staten Island Railway's trains, which must be trucked over from Staten Island. The next part of the complex is Coney Island Yard, located just south of the maintenance facility. This consists of 57 storage tracks. The western tracks 1 through 13 and the eastern tracks 1 through 3 are connected to a balloon loop, while the western tracks 3 to 14 and 66 to 88 are dead-end tracks. Additionally, tracks 15 to 22 sit next to the overhaul facility. Culver Yard is located right next to Coney Island Yard and consists of 18 dead-end storage tracks numbered 89 to 107. Stillwell Yard sits in between the BMT Sea Beach and BMT West End lines and contains 26 tracks numbered 1 to 26. Cars assigned to this complex are the 496 R46s, 141 R68s, and 200 R68As assigned to the N, Q, R, and W trains, with R68As also being assigned to the B, and R68s also being assigned to the Franklin Avenue Shuttle. There are also 10 R211Ts assigned to this yard, which run on the G, making a total of just shy of 800 cars being assigned to the yard. D, F, and R trains are also stored at this yard, but are not assigned to it. Work equipment and trains belonging to the New York Transit Museum are also stored in the complex. Stillwell Yard connects directly to the Coney Island Stillwell Avenue station, providing access to all 4 lines. Culver and Coney Island Yards are also connected into the Coney Island Stillwell Avenue via Track 18. Tracks 14 and 15 connect to the BMT West End line via a flyover, and tracks 5 and 6 connect to the IND Culver line. The last connection is at the BMT Sea Beach line, with several tracks merging into a lead that connects with it. Being one of the most important yards on the system, it contains a car wash. This is also the second of 2 yards that have a portion of it listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The gatehouse and electric motor repair shop are both listed, albeit separately, on the RHP. Corona Yard is located between the 2 Metz-Willits Point stations, one on the IRT Flushing Line 7 train and one on the LORR's Port Washington branch in Corona, Queens, and is located near Flushing Meadows, Corona Park. This yard is where all 506 R88s used on the 7 train are stored and maintained. The yard is equipped with a balloon loop and car wash. There are 5 maintenance tracks numbered 51 to 55 and 32 storage tracks numbered 1 to 26 and 50 to 55. The yard leads are numbered A and B. East 180th Street Yard is located in West Farms, the Bronx, right next to the East 180th Street Station on the IRT White Plains Road Line 2 and 5 trains and the Bronx Zoo. The yard is also directly south of and connected to Unionport Yard, and by extension the junction between the IRT Dyer Avenue line and IRT White Plains Road line 5 and 2 trains respectively. 410 R142s used on the 2 and 5 trains are assigned to this yard for maintenance and inspection purposes. The yard has 6 maintenance tracks numbered 11 to 16 and 9 storage tracks numbered A, B, and 4 to 10. Tracks B, 4, and 5 provide the yard's connections to the main line. The East New York Yard is located, as the name suggests, in the East New York neighborhood of Brooklyn. The yard sits next to Broadway Junction, which is a station and also an actual junction between the BMT Canarsie line, L train, and the BMT Jamaica line, J and Z trains. This is the main yard for the BMT Eastern Division, with all 212 R143s used on the L, all 372 R160A1s used on the J, L, M, and Z trains, and 96 of the 4-car R179s used on the J and Z assigned to the yard. The yard has 9 inspection tracks, which end at bumper blocks coming from the west side of the yard, 6 storage tracks that end at bumper blocks also coming from the east side of the yard, and 23 storage tracks that end at bumper blocks coming from the east side of the yard. The yard features a balloon loop and no car wash. Access to the west side of the yard is from the BMT Jamaica line heading towards Manhattan only. Access to the east side of the yard is done from Y on the BMT Jamaica line, allowing for access from both directions, and to the Canarsie line heading towards Canarsie. A Y is a triangular arrangement of track that allows for trains to be turned around without a balloon loop, and also serves as a simple 3-way junction on a rail line. There is a weird stub track that extends on the elevated structure past the Canarsie line's connection to the yard, which is most likely a remnant of when more than just these 2 lines ran through the area. There are also 2 tracks that allow trains to be transferred between the 2 lines, and this is where the BMT Jamaica line Center Express track begins as trains head towards Manhattan. Fresh Pond Yard is located between the Brooklyn neighborhoods of Ridgewood and Middle Village, and between the Fresh Pond Road and Middle Village Metropolitan Avenue stations on the BMT Myrtle Avenue line, M train. The yard can only be accessed from Middle Village Metropolitan Avenue. No cars are assigned here for maintenance, as it is only used to store R160A1s used on the M train when they are not in service, freeing up space at Jamaica Yards for the other R160s. The yard has 19 storage tracks numbered 1 through 19. Speaking of Jamaica Yard, it's next on our list. The yard is located in Forest Hills, Queens, directly north of Kew Gardens Union Turnpike on the I&D Queens Boulevard line E and F trains. All 630 R160A2s, all 400 R160B1s, and all 260 R160B2s used on the E, F, G, and R trains are assigned to this yard, for a total of 1,290 cars being assigned to the yard, the most of any yard in the system. Due to the limited track space, at least when compared to the number of trains assigned to the yard is overcrowded, meaning trains have to be stored on the Queens Boulevard line's express tracks east of 71st Avenue and on the relay tracks at Jamaica 179th Street Station. The yard has 36 storage tracks and 8 maintenance tracks. The yard also has a balloon loop and a car wash. The yard is connected to the Queens Boulevard line via a grade-separated Y, with tracks 5 and 6 connected to the line in the Manhattan-bound direction, and tracks 9 and 10 connecting in the Jamaica-bound direction. Related to the yard are the 2 relay tracks located under Kew Gardens and next to tracks 5 and 6, which are used to turn M and R trains around. The yard leads run under Kew Gardens Union Turnpike before rising up to the main line's level and merging at either end of the station. We now move back to the Bronx for Jerome Yard, which is located directly north of Concourse Yard and is one of 3 yards on the system to have a housing complex built on top of it. Unlike Concourse Yard, this yard only has access to the IRT Jerome Avenue line 4 train via a 2-track connection in the Manhattan-bound direction. All 220 R142As are assigned to this yard, along with 205 R142s, for a total of 425 cars being assigned to the yard. It has 4 maintenance tracks and 19 storage tracks. Lenox Avenue Yard in Harlem, Manhattan is located on Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard between 149th and 150th Streets. The facilities used to have a heavy overhaul and maintenance shop, but that was removed in favor of 207th Street Yard's facilities. As a result of the shop closing, the yard was majorly downsized into the 22-track storage facility we have today. 2 more tracks were removed later in order to provide space for Harlem 148th Street Station, where the 3 terminates. As there are no maintenance facilities on this yard, no cars are assigned to it, but R62s used on the 3 trains are stored here. It connects into the IRT Lenox Avenue line with 2 yard leads. This is another one of the 3 yards to have a residential complex, and a high school in this case, built on top of it. The Linden Shops, located in Brownsville in East New York, Brooklyn, is the second of 2 non-revenue yards. This yard is where track equipment and switches are assembled. The yard has no 3rd rail, meaning only diesel work locomotives can access the facility. The facility has 3 access points, from the IRT New Lots line 3 train just east of Junius Street from the BMT Canarsie line L train between Livonia Avenue and New Lots Avenue, and from the Long Island Railroad's Bay Ridge branch, which is only used by New York and Atlantic Railroad freight trains. The connection to the LIRR is the second of two connections the subway has to the National Rail Network. Staying in East New York becomes the Livonia Yard, which is located at the end of the AirTrain New Lots Line 3 train. The facility is on an elevated structure that runs over Linden Boulevard and Hedgeman Avenue, with the yard being between Linwood and Elton Streets. The yard is where 305 R62s used on the 3 train are assigned. 4 tracks numbered 17 to 20 are used for maintenance, while 13 tracks numbered 1 to 13 are used for train storage. The 2-yard leads are actually the mainline tracks to the New Lots line, which run to and from New Lots Avenue. This is unique in the system, as every other yard is either located off a spur or is directly next to a station instead of being located at the end of the mainline tracks. A third yard in East New York is Pitkin Yard, located between Sutter Avenue, Linden Boulevard, Lincoln Avenue, and Eldert Lane. This yard is where 130 R179s, most of the R211As, and 10 R211Ts used on the A and C trains are assigned. The yard connects to the INT Fulton Street line, A and C trains via a grade-separated Y, similar to Jamaica Yard. The yard has 32 tracks numbered 1 through 32, some of which are used for storage and some of which are used for maintenance of trains. We now travel to the beaches, that's right, NYC's beaches, of the Rockaways, and specifically Rockaway Park and the end of the INT Rockaway line's Rockaway Park branch, to look at the Rockaway Park Yard, which is located next to Rockaway Park at Beach 116th Street. Yikes, I've said Rockaway a lot, although not as much as I've said yard. The yard has 8 storage tracks and no maintenance facilities and is used to store R46s, R179s, and R211As used on the Rockaway Park shuttle. I just said it again. Some work equipment is also stored at this yard. Due to the yard's proximity to Rockaway Park, Beach 116th Street, last time I promise, this is probably the easiest place to photograph work equipment on the subway, as you get a clear view of the yard from the station platforms. Unionport Yard is located directly north of East 180th Street Yard and provides additional storage for the R142s used on the 2 and 5 trains. It has 19 tracks numbered 19 to 37. At the south end, track 22 connects to the IRT White Plains Road line, and at the north end, track 22 connects to the IRT Dyer Avenue line. Also of note near this yard are the former platforms of the New York, Westchester, and Boston Railway stations. The railroad is now the Dyer Avenue line, and when it was connected to the White Plains Road line, the station was abandoned. The tracks, however, can still be used to store trains, and there is a connection between one of the tracks and the White Plains Road line. Located a little bit south of Unionport Yard was West Farms Yard, the only yard in the system that is closed. The only remnants of the yard that survive are a small section of trackway branching off the White Plains Road line just north of West Farm Square, Tremont Avenue. The last yard on the New York City subway is Westchester Yard, located between the Pelham Bay and Westchester Square neighborhoods of the Bronx. The yard is connected to the IRT Pelham Line 6 train via a grade-separated Y between Westchester Square, East Tremont Avenue, and Middletown Road. This yard is unique in that it features a full 360-degree loop, track 40. There are 7 maintenance and inspection tracks, numbered 2, 3, 17 to 21, 27, and 28. There are 47 storage tracks, numbered 1, 4 to 16, 22 to 26, 29, and 36 to 62. The car wash is located on track 40. 435 R62As used on the 6 train are assigned to the yard, and work equipment is also stored here. We now move on to the Staten Island Railway, which has 3 yards. First is Clifton Yard, located next to Clifton Station in the Clifton neighborhood. This is where the R44s and R211Ss used on the line are maintained, with 5 tracks. There is also a maintenance of way siding located on the opposite side of the main line next to the yard. Adjacent to the Tompkinsville station is a 2-track maintenance of way shop. The 3rd yard on the line is a set of storage tracks at the southern end of the line at Tottenville. PATH, short for Port Authority Trans-Hudson, is the 3rd of New York subway systems and incidentally has 3 yards. The first yard is what OpenStreetMap calls C yards, and judging by Google Earth imagery is a maintenance of way shop, with tracks going in many directions. The yard is situated right next to the tunnel portal where the main line tracks dive underground to serve the Hudson waterfront in Manhattan. A little bit west of here is Journal Square Transportation Center. The Harrison Car Maintenance Facility is the main train storage, maintenance, and overhaul facility for PATH. The yard is located on the Newark branch, a little bit to the east of Harrison Station, hence the name. Due to the configuration of the tracks in the area, the yard is only accessible from the eastbound track, Track H. Amtrak's northeast corridor runs between the 2 PATH tracks, which is why access to the yard is weird. The yard has 12 maintenance tracks and many storage tracks, as well as a balloon loop. The last yard on PATH is a set of storage tracks located next to Journal Square Transportation Center and aptly named Journal Square Yard. Each of the 2 light rail systems in northern New Jersey have 1 yard. The Newark Light Rail has the Grove Street shops located adjacent to Grove Street Station at the end of the line. The yard features a complete loop of tracks similar to Pelham Yard on the subway. Hudson-Bergen Light Rail's yard is located at the junction of the Bayonne and West Side branches, with track connections to both. The yard features a balloon loop similar to many yards on the subway. We'll finish out with the two airport people movers in the New York area. AirTrain JFK's maintenance and storage facility is located in between the Lefferts Boulevard and Federal Circle stations on the Howard Beach branch. AirTrain JFK's little sibling, AirTrain Newark, has a maintenance facility located off a spur between the old Terminal A and the new Terminal A. With that, we've made it through all the rapid transit and light rail yards in the New York metro area. Thanks for joining me on this tour of the city. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. There will be more episodes to come in this series, including one where we took a look at the mainline yards in the New York metro area. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.